My name is Avanta Anthony, and we're here to talk about everything that happens in the transfer market and so on and so forth. Um, Hope you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel as well. And hope let's dive straight away into it. So to start off with Chelsea FC, I think this is becoming like a about the Hakimi news. It's just everybody's just going round and round. It's mostly like recycled news right now, to be honest. I would say it's apparently PSG have come up with a bigger transfer bigger transfer budget for the Hakimi deal. However, this I believe is like something of the sort saying, maybe get this deal done quickly as possible or something of that sort. That's what I feel like in this situation. It's just that peop people want this to happen quickly, and the thing is, Hakimi wants to come to the Premier League. However, you can't rule out a transfer uh, to PSG as well, because Inter Milan is cash stricken at this moment. And what if they come up with a ridiculous bid of like 80 million or something of that sort? Obviously, it's gonna be like, yeah, he might be going to Juventus, because he never said no to PSG. Sorry, not Juventus, PSG as well. It's just that he prefers a move to the Premier League over the French league, because it's more attractive to players, more, it's out there, and things such as such like that. However, let's see how this transpires. As I said in my previous videos as well, Chelsea have offered a player plus cash deal as well, so that's something to work on, to be honest. However, the personal terms are not a problem. Uh, but we have to wait and see what happens with this new bid that has come in from PSG for the player. However, let's see. Let's see. I would say do not panic with regards to it as well. To be really precise, because the player still wants to come to the Premier League. So I think it would take like a ridiculous bid of like 80 million or something of that sort from PSG for this to happen, to be honest. But yeah, this we have no worries at all. So with regards to uh, the Haaland deal, I think this will be dragged on till like the end of the transfer market for this thing to happen. Even though the player and the club have agreed on like personal terms and stuff like that, it's just a matter of you know working with Dortmund to figure out what sort of a transfer budget they're looking at, what sort of a transfer fee they're looking at, stuff like that as well. Because I think Chelsea prefers to go with a fee plus player deal for this as well. So you never know at the end of the day with regards to all of these things. However, let's see what happens on this deal as well, because it's not going to be easy with regards to this, because at the end of the day, uh, player plus cash deals are always difficult. The players who are involved in the transfer also needs to agree to go to Dortmund at, as a whole as well. So it's a strange situation, to be honest. But yeah, let's see what happens in this space. But Chelsea fans, I could only say just be very, very excited for next season, because it's going to be very good. There will be a lot of players that would be transferred out of the club as well. There has been mooted talk saying that Bayern Munich is back in for Callum Hudson-Odoi as well. So that's quite brilliant to see. But let's see what happens in this space moving forward. And with coming back to like players that are going to be moved out, I think like players like Ross Barkley, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, uh, and players like Zappa Costa, Emerson, Alonso, many players are looking at being axed by Chelsea Football Club, maybe to fund the Haaland deal, maybe to to maybe look at another central midfielder like Verratti as well, because with the signing of Genie to PSG, that opens that bracket where Genie would play in the middle of the park, and Verratti might be looking at going to the Premier League, just to because it is a big pool right now, the Premier League. So that's going to be interesting as well. So I would say Chelsea fans still be very excited about what's going to happen in the future, and then you know I'm a Chelsea fan myself, and I'm looking forward to it. To be honest, I'm really excited and buzzing as well, and yeah, reigning champions of Europe, which is another big pull for a lot of players as well. So yeah, let's watch this space and see, and I'll bring you the latest news and everything moving forward with regards to it. Another thing that I wanted to speak about is the Manchester United transfer news, the never-ending transfer saga of Jadon Sancho to Manchester United. Uh, this deal seems very close to Manchester United. I think they are almost there with it. As a lot of people say, as I said, it is recycled news as well with regards to a lot of things. Uh, because there are no new news that are coming from Sancho's camp or from Dortmund's side of things, because the player is still in the Euros, he's playing for England and stuff like that. However, the gentleman's agreement between United and Sancho still stands as well. Uh, however, Dortmund still wants that transfer fee of that sort from United, and it's only a matter of time where they can come into a middle ground and get this deal happening, and that's the most exciting thing about this. And United fans will be very excited about this happening as well, and they were looking forward to it as well. Um, and about the Kieran Trippier deal to United as well. United will be bidding for Kieran Trippier as well, which is a good thing. And I think the addition of Trippier to the United squad will also raise AWB's work rate and stuff like that, because he is a brilliant player. He is a brilliant player, and there is so much that he can work on as well as a player. And I think Trippier will help him progress up to that level. And if Ole is looking at playing AWB in a more central role like a centre back or something of that sort, they can try that as well. And just like what Teles did for Luke Shaw, it just raised his game as well. So that's what I believe. And I would be quite worried about United next season. I think they will be strengthening. However, one thing that I've been thinking about as well, what would happen to Anthony Martial if if and when Sancho comes in? And I believe the number 7 shirt number would go into Sancho, and the number 9 would go into Cavani. Martial never does well with a player who has been who is playing in his position as well. He has never produced any tangible results from his point of view, because I believe a player like Martial needs to raise his game so that he can show the fans, show everybody that at the end of the day, I am good enough to play in this Manchester United squad. I am good enough, I'm better than Cavani as well. So this is what I think. At the end of the day, it looks more and more likely that he might be leaving this summer as well. Same like the Pogba situation. I think United are working tirelessly with Pogba to figure out whether he's going to stay or whether he's going to leave. Maybe Pogba leaving might be a good thing for United, because they could use that transfer money to buy players like Declan Rice, which they're looking at very closely as well, which is brilliant. And at the end of the day, the money that is generated from the Pogba sale or the Martial sale could be used to fund for players like Declan Rice. And the good news is Declan is ready to move from West Ham to Manchester as well. So The other thing is, he also requires a massive wage, as that's what has been reported. And plus, with the money that is left from the transfer of Pogba and Martial, and the salaries that are also available, they could make a very reasonable offer for like Declan Rice. And at the end of the day, it is the biggest club in London, in the UK, and yeah, who doesn't want to play for United as well? So that's the best thing about this whole thing for United. I think there is a chance of this happening. But you never know. You never know. At the end of the day, Pogba might decide to stay, which also will be a win for United in some sort. If he does leave or if he stays, I think it will be a win-win situation for United as well. So the other thing that I would like to talk about, the next club that I would like to talk about, to be honest, is Arsenal Football Club. They have been making the biggest noise in the transfer market. Ben White, and what do you call James Madison, Lukonga. Uh, so many transfers they are linked to Ruben Neves. It's incredible. The reason why they are looking at so many players is that they do not know what they actually can attract to the club. That's the problem that they're having right now. And plus, they do also have a transfer budget that not a lot of people would like would like assume as well. It has been reported that it's close to about 200 million. I believe it would be somewhere around the 150 mark. However, uh, right now, I believe Arsenal Football Club cannot go for well-established players, like maybe like a Sergio Ramos or something of that sort, but they can go to players like uh, Ben White, who would be the next best thing. He is already an England international, which is brilliant as well. And him going into Arsenal would be a good stepping stone from Brighton to Arsenal, because Arsenal is a bigger club as well. So Ben White going to Arsenal, I think it's a good deal because he can play centre back, maybe a defensive midfielder, and if needed, if they choose to go into a three at the back setup, he can also play in that wing back role as well up to a certain extent. It gives a lot of versatility for the player as well, so which is brilliant. Um, and the Lokonga deal, I think it is very close to happening. It is extremely close to happening. I believe this might be announced next week. It's just uh, the rumors around as well. It would be somewhere around 20 million pounds, or maybe a little less than that. The reason as to why this is happening is Anderlecht is having major financial trouble at the moment. So because Anderlecht is having major financial trouble at the moment, they want to get this deal up and running as soon as possible and get it over and done with. And he is highly touted in the in the Belgium footballing world as well. He just missed out on the Euros because Axel Witsel was fit to play in the Euros. If not, it would have been Lokonga. And if he did go to the Euros and if he performed, there would be much more bigger clubs, much more bigger clubs in the sense clubs that are in a much more better position to approach him. And then would that make him come to Arsenal over those clubs? That's just we have to wait and see. And the good thing is he's still on vacation, so that's that's why I would say maybe next week it would be possible that Lokonga is uh, actually announced for Arsenal, and he would be able to play with Partey. Partey needs that player with him as well, so I think you could see the best out of Thomas Partey next season as well. And another name that they're linked with, as I said before, James Madison. Madison wants to move away from Leicester. Apparently, because he has fallen out with Brendan Rodgers. I don't know how true is it, to be honest, but uh, and Arsenal is linked with him as well. And I would say yes, this is a good deal for Arsenal because they need that number 10 type player. And you know what James Madison could do on his day. He is brilliant on his day. So James Madison to Arsenal is making some buzz around the footballing world, but at the end of the day, you never know what would happen in the transfer market. They already there was some news that Chelsea was also looking at James Madison, but I don't know how true is that. And the the only problem is I don't I don't want James Madison in Chelsea because we have enough uh, people on that right hand side or in that middle of the park as well. So that's the thing that I want to say about James Madison. So at the end of the day, it would be a good fit for Arsenal. Arsenal need that number 10. They looked at Odegaard, and Odegaard seems to be staying at uh, Real Madrid as well. So you never know what's happening. You never know. It's silly season to be honest. So this is what I feel about the James Madison deal. They were looking at also Alex and I think Isak. Would this mean that Lacazette might be moving out of the club, making more space for in the salary as well for the incoming transfers? It seems like Arsenal is going to make a fair few transfers this season. It would be interesting how they walk into the next season. So that's my take on what's happening with Arsenal Football Club. Next is I want to talk about Leicester City. It's been it was confirmed on social media that Patson Daka is actually going to be a Leicester City player. A lot of clubs looked at him. Liverpool, apparently Chelsea did, Arsenal did. A lot of the big boys did look at him, and apparently it's been said that he is going to go to uh, Leicester City. But reports yesterday stated that it is not a 100% done deal as well. So there is still a chance that he might sign for another club. But this just goes to show how well run of a club is Leicester City. At the end of the day, Leicester just go about their business silently, just doing what they have to do and get everything done, and so on and so forth. And they have a brilliant manager in Brendan Rodgers as well, and the club is well run. They have a great scouting network, and whatever they do, if they sign these players in a couple of years' time, these players will be sold by the club for an astronomical fee, which would make money for the club as well. And that's what clubs need to do as well. It's just brilliant to see, and I'm very very impressed with Leicester City because. I mean, it's just impeccable, and I think clubs like Arsenal, Tottenham, and Manchester United should look look at how Leicester City is run as a football club and maybe take a page out of their book and just try to follow as much as possible as what they can, because at the end of the day it's just brilliant. These people in the comments are making me laugh as well. Some of my friends from back in the day and back from school. It's just it's just awesome. Oh man, man. It's just awesome. So next is I'm gonna come into Tottenham Football Club. Apparently they're linked with another manager, and I think this is like the 11th or 10th manager they're looking at. This is just getting tiring. And as a Chelsea fan, I've seen a fair few managers come in and go. It's just crazy with Tottenham. I don't think that they know what they're really gonna do, and I don't think that they have any clue of what they're trying to do as well. And this might be the correct time for a club like City to bid on players like Harry Kane. Daniel Levy seems to be second guessing every single decision that he makes. He makes uh, a brilliant addition to the club like Paratici, and Paratici's number one target, which was Fonseca, was was just dismissed, and everything was in place for him to sign for Tottenham. And then Levy decides, no, he's not the man, and it's just crazy. And what is this going to do for Tottenham moving forward as well? What will Tottenham do, uh, as in what they want to do as well? Because at the end of the day, they need to rebuild as well. Son is looking at renewing his contract. What sort of a message is this giving to Heung-min Son? Does he want to stay at a club that has their future undecided yet? What type of player are they looking at to sign for the new manager if they don't even know what their new manager is gonna be like? You know, at who are they gonna who are they gonna target? I don't think they even have transfer transfer targets set to at least approach. And even if they do approach, what are they going to pitch to the player? We don't have any manager. We have this awesome stadium where we can have all these NFL games and concerts, boxing matches. Just it's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous, to be honest. And if Harry Kane gets a bid of about 100 to 110 million, would it would see that Harry Kane leaves the club, and Tottenham could actually use that money to buy new players. However, without a manager in, what are they gonna buy? Who are they gonna buy? And it might actually end up being Ryan Mason for next season as well. It's just crazy. It just shows that Tottenham are just like happy to be where they are. They were happy to be in the Champions League final. They were happy to be in the League Cup final. It's like the club is like, I'm just happy to be here. It's just useless, to be honest. From a club, it's just horrible. It's horrible. Uh, it's just horrible it, as as clubs go. It's just, man. I it's frustrating to see. At the end of the day, you don't want players like Heung-min Son, Lucas Moura, Eric Lamela, and players like that just uh, leave the Premier League as well. You want it to be as competitive as it is, and you want these players to stay in the club and stay in the league. So it makes other players who play for other leagues to come into the Premier League, make it much more better. And that's why the Premier League is what it is right now. And just it, I think Tottenham are gonna fall behind so badly next season, and it's just it's just an utter waste. I think a lot of Tottenham fans want Daniel Levy out as well, out of the club. It's just it's just sad to see, man. It's just sad to see, to be honest. Ah, for me, it's just ridiculous. I'm happy as a Chelsea fan. I'm happy as a Chelsea fan to see another London club in the mud, but I don't want to see Harry Kane going to Manchester City at the same time. And at the end of the day, I think he might leave because if they are not going to sign any proper managers, or if they're not going to do anything right and before the start of the season, and you know in a couple of weeks time they will be going into their preseason without a manager, which is just bad. And just got a comment from a friend of mine. To He's asking me, would like to know where he will go this transfer window. uh you mean Harry Kane? I think he would go to City. There's no doubt, man. There's no doubt. uh if you want to join in the stream, I can send you the link, bro. If you would like to, I can send you the link, no problem. Just let me know whether you want to come in and have your say about all this. But it is what it is. Yeah, this is my first live stream as well, and it's gonna be a short but sweet stream. Hope to see you guys like in my next stream a bit longer. Have a bit more people on the stream as well. Grab a couple of my other friends who would like to join as well. So hope to see you guys soon with another stream. And as always, like, comment, subscribe to all our content on Talk Football, and you know, stay safe as well. And hope the world goes back into normality in the near future. Um, and I'm trying to do another video on what you call what does the transfer what do you call financial fair play being scrapped means to the football clubs as well. uh, and hopefully I can get that video out maybe today or maybe tomorrow, and let's see what happens in that video. Thank you for watching, guys. As I said before, like, comment, subscribe to us at Talk Football, and hope you guys enjoy the video. Ciao.